Namaste, Masters. This is Lakshmi Devi from Atlanta. I started my spiritual journey in 2020. One of my neighbor forwarded about this Atlanta group of meditation, PSSM, wherein first time I realized the power of meditation and how nicely we can connect with the divinity. And my first course was from Buddha CEO's 41 Days Meditation. So after that, I've been taking more courses from many masters, learning from many masters, and sharing wisdom with others, and the same time learning. And here I am with another topic, Enlightened Masters. So before we start, let's pay gratitudes to Mahavdar Babaji, Brahmashri Pitamaha Patriji, Swarnamala Patriji, to all the divine feminine and masculine energies, the great enlightened masters who has showed us wisdom and path for enlightenment. Masters, today we are going to talk about enlightenment. Enlightenment, what is that? It's the understanding we gain, the training we undergo as a soul. Our soul has experienced many qualities from many lifetimes, not only in this lifetime. Once we take birth here, we forget how divine we were. And when we are ignorant of something and we seek the truth, we seek the light, and that removal of ignorance, it is called the enlightenment. Here, we are going to talk about spiritual enlightenment. Patriji says, when a person asks why there is darkness, who is God, why I'm not the God, or who am I? So all these questions, if we are asking, then we are at the first stage of enlightenment. So why we need to seek enlightenment? That's obvious that every soul has a natural affinity to seek the truth, the source, what we call the God. Or when we are still in ignorance, we have some sufferings, questions, imbalance, and all these lead us to seek answers. And that is nothing but seeking enlightenment. To get the wisdom, truth, we seek gurus, we meditate, we read books, and do Sajjana Sangatya, where we share our experiences and learn from each other. Thus, learning from the enlightened masters gives us not only the knowledge, but also these masters' life itself will act as guide for us. So let's learn about the enlightened masters. Jesus Christ. As soon as we think about Jesus Christ, he is, first thing we get as love, forgiveness. He's embodiment of that compassion. He is brave also. He's brave to speak the truth, a great seeker. He was born in Bethlehem to Joseph and Mother Mary about 6 BCE. The scripts talk about his compassion towards others, his love towards every being, the way he accepted everyone, no matter what they are, a person who committed sin or a wise person. He always had his constant balance, his sincere effort to call from the heart. And he was connected with the divine, the source or the ultimate truth. He calls the Lord or the God or my Father. So once he knew the truth and that enlightened being, Jesus was brave enough to speak the truth. He was teaching the spiritual truth when even at that time, a slightest deviation from the principle of what the king follows, the person would be beheaded, like they would be killed. At that time, Jesus was brave enough to speak the truth. and he could manage to get disciples and pass on the wisdom he gained. So let's see what Jesus' main teachings were. Seek first the kingdom of God and righteousness, and all things shall be yours as well. It is like we have many needs and wants. Like Harika said, we have confused with wants and needs. But our needs are beyond the materialistic pleasures. It's like desperately we want something more. All these things, when we just putting our career, or it could be a basic need also, putting our career, our kids, our family, and we consider it as basic. Even then, Jesus says, if you have to choose the righteousness. So what is the righteousness? When we seek, we learn the qualities of God. That is the right path. So implementing it, the experiential wisdom is righteousness. Seek first. And what next? Seek the kingdom of God. He says the kingdom of God will not give signs that, hey, I'm here. I'm the kingdom of God. Come get me. We will not have such signs. We have to search. So where do we search? We search inside us. He says, search within you all happiness, bliss. It is in you. Preserve in your. So he says, wherever we are going to try, when we're finding the answers outside, that means we are separating us from the divinity. He wanted to instill in us that divinity is in us. So he said, search within you. Persevere in your search for God. So when you replace the hate with love, anger with kindness, and you'll feel closer to God. So he says, notice more peace in your life as you imbibe all these qualities. He claims, I'm the Son of God, and I and you are one. That means he already realized that he's divine and he is the Son of God, the source. You and I are one. So that he had embedded all the qualities of God, that unconditional love, oneness, non-judgmental, completely aware, yet in witness consciousness. He's reminding us, you and I are same. So we can also follow the path of truth and enter the kingdom of God. He has so much love for humanity. We all know after his crucifixion, he said, oh Lord, please forgive him. These words would not come just like that. To the core, he should have and he should believe, and he is living that. And that is when he could utter such words in that severe pain. And he said, no pain at all. And that is love he had for humanity, not only for humanity, for the righteousness, that is universal love. Just like Sri Ram, he always chooses righteousness. Despite all the conditions, he chooses the righteousness and still has the balance. And so did Jesus. You and I are one. So as like a father, he wanted the kids to follow and progress. So instead of asking or suggesting, he knows that two things would definitely lead into that enlightenment or the right path. So he made two commandments. Love the Lord, your God, with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. Love with all your heart. That is self-love. Completely love yourself. Accept completely yourself. That Priyaji was saying. Completely accepting And now see, when you accept, when we learn and implementing, when we implement it, we'll know the pain of others. When we know that we have made the mistake, when we observe others, why the other person is making the mistake, we'll be able to understand. And after that, that self-love, he's saying, love your neighbor as yourself. That is, then extend that soul level of experience, the oneness with others. Surrender your mind. To whom? To the true self, the oneness. When we do that, self-love and extending that love. And that is when we gain that universal love. He just put 2 commandments, and he indirectly said all these things. Now let's go for another wonderful, wonderful master, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. The simple man. Sometimes he's like childlike enthusiasm. He explained the more complex concepts in very simple, simple stories. And sometimes it is very sarcastic also. His stories, his parables. Ramakrishna Paramahansa was born as Gadadhar Chattopadhyaya on February 18th, 1836 to Khudiram Chattopadhyaya and Chandramani Devi in Bengal Presidency. He was religiously inclined. In many incidents, he went to trance. Even when he was a kid, when he was enacting a drama, he went into trance and he was experiencing the divine God in him. And he was standing all for there for hours. So after his death, after his father's death, he had to assist his brother as priest in Kali Mata's temple. And later he had to take over the responsibility of the priesthood in Kali Mata's temple. And he was married to a wonderful, wonderful lady, Sharada Devi. And she accompanied him in his spiritual journey. As a mother, she used to take care of all the devotees. And he learned under many gurus. He learned tantric, he learned the yogas, he learned many things. He was a wonderful seeker. And his main teachings are the purpose of human life is to realize God. As we all know, Hinduism knows that we incarnate. Our soul incarnates for learning and attaining mukti and becoming one with God. He always insists in spiritual growth of person than that of materialistic growth. He says, without sacrificing Kamini and Kanchana, no spiritual progress is ever possible. That is the lust and the goal. So the lust is not just the lust of the body. It could be the materialistic pleasures, the desires we have. All these will come under lust and gold. He said, just renounce it. It is not needed. Until we come out of the barriers, we can't grow spiritually. Pure mind, pure intellect, and pure Atman are one and the same. Why pure mind? Because if we are not having pure mind, that means we have something else in our mind going on about a judgment about some people, our own criticism, and thinking about past or something like that. That means we are not connected to the divinity. And the pure intellect, it's all the same, the pure Atma. When you are pure, and that's what we do in meditation. We sit, we empty our mind, and we get connected to the source or the universe. And we start receiving cosmic energy. And that's what he was saying, the pure mind. So he used to treat everyone the same. Denies the caste. He denies all the religion system. He even cleaned the toilets, and he sees Kali Mata in everyone. And by trying to help, before that, as we are in Dashara Navratri, Ramakrishna Paramahansa was so much devoted to Kali Mata. And He sees Kali Mata in every person, every being, everywhere. So when others see Kali Mata, they see a fierce or a strong murti there. But for him, it is love. Masters, Kali Mata, if we see her with love, no other person, no other, like the Devi herself is complete embodiment of love. When we come out, especially ladies, we put a little makeup at least, not just a powder. At least we'll wash our face and we'll go, right? Look at Kali Mata, how she came. Oh, all skull mala, and she is all wrapped with all such things, which is very fearful. And for what reason she came? It's not for killing. We are saying, oh, she's there to kill demons. No, she's there to protect us, protect like a mother. That is prominent. She didn't care about anything. There are meanings, like the skull mala represents the truth, and she does not wear dress. That means there is no one to rule her. It all represents something. But see, it's like she put herself in front of everyone, everything beyond. She forgot herself beyond that, and she is there for the universe. That is universal love, the mother of the love of divine mother. That is Kali Mata. He could sense it. Ramakrishna could sense it. And he was asking others to sense. Why are you seeing that she's killing a demon? Oh, see the love. Can you come out of that? And that love he was expressing. And he catch hold, like, and he had very much devotion with Kali Mata. But he also said, who are we to help the world? By helping others, we are actually helping us. Every being is form of God. When we are doing service to others, we are doing service to ourselves. He believed in that. He believed, and that's what he was teaching. And Patriji says, when a person in need of food, give him food. When the person needs guidance, give him spiritual wisdom. When teach him meditation, which will open gateway to connect with the true path, the inner self. Friends, and instead of going and learning about individual masters, let's learn the concept what Patriji says. He says about 3 enlightenment stages. Enlightenment before enlightenment, and enlightenment proper, and enlightenment after enlightenment. So what is enlightenment before enlightenment? So when we seek, when we are sincerely seeking at the first stage, we know there's something else we have to do. Like, I'm a spiritually inclined child, and I was so connected with Lalita Parameshwari. But that puja, doing Ashtotram, doing Lalita Sahasranam 108 times, it was not enough. I know something was calling. I know something is there to do than that. And Patriji says that zeal, and you go forward, go and seek, ask others, put the first step. And that is enlightenment before enlightenment. We all have all done that. That's why we are here in this session, learning. So Gautama Buddha also did it. He was in search of truth. So initially, we say he went out. But Patriji says that is enlightenment before enlightenment. 5 to 6 years after that, he went to many gurus. He was sitting under Bodhi tree, and he got the real enlightenment. But before that itself, Buddha, he stepped out in search of truth. That is enlightenment before enlightenment. And so, and there is something we can achieve, that zeal, there is a drive. What made him go to 500 masters, 500 gurus? He tried many things, many yogas, many methods of meditation. He implemented it sincerely. And at last he got enlightenment. But the drive, that is enlightenment before enlightenment. Ramana Maharshi, he, at the age of 16, this boy, he left the house in search of the Guru, the truth self, the God. No one was accompanying him. He just left just like that with very little amount. What was the drive in him? That is the enlightenment before enlightenment. His dedication, his devotion towards Arunachalam. There is more. This is not me. My soul is calling for something else. He had the drive, and that is that enlightenment before enlightenment. And similarly, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And when he was with Kali Mata, and he was like seeing that everyone were seeing the force of Kali Mata, he used to ask to see her love. And people, they said, no, she's very forced, she's very strong. Kali Mata is like, when we see other Devis, they are like river, nicely flowing. But Kali Mata is like a Niagara Falls. How can you expect her to flow like a river? Even the minutest, the teeniest, or the essence of her is so strong. Yet she is a perfect balance of feminine and masculine. And and Ramakrishna was dealing with her. And so devotion, with such devotion. And another example is Ramta. Masters, if most of you would have known, but for people who don't know, Ramta Master, he lived over 35,000 years ago. He is a Lemurian and a warrior who fought against the Atlassians. The Lemurians were spiritually oriented and respecting nature and connection. They had connection with divinity. But Atlassians were technology oriented. They were like technically advancing, and they used to they had no respect towards Lemurian. They thought they're just barbaric, and they used to treat them so pathetically. Not even minimum respect, and women were taken for granted. And those situation, Ramta was born to a Lemurian family.
Lakshmi,
And he, yes.
sorry for the interruption. Will you move the slide? Still
Uh,
seeing in.
yeah, it's the same slide. I'm still talking about enlightenment after enlightenment. Only 6 slides of it. and of course, we can't show Ramta because he had never revealed his figure. He never revealed his appearance. And Ramta, he lost his mother and sister, the baby sister, and they were not having enough food to eat, enough food for survival. And when they died, Ramta, he was just a little boy. He was also 15 to 16 years old. He had to burn the dead body very fast and see to ensure that dead body is all burnt before the Galatians come. Because if they see the bodies, they'll take it and put it for the food as a food for animals. And he doesn't want to happen. So with this, when he was collecting so many, in haste, he was collecting the sticks and all this pathetic situation. He was like, why God? Because they were spiritually oriented. If God is there, why he had to give these situations to us? Why it should lead all these situations? I will go and ask God. He got that thought. Why should he should help? If God is there, he should come and help. Why he left us like that? When we are so spiritually oriented, he went in search, and where he can find, there was a big mountain, huge mountain, and he thought, if God is there, he'll be there. I'll go and ask. So he went. He went and he started climbing, and he did not have a minimum meals and food also. So all he had is good stick, and he was climbing with a thin, lean body. And he climbed and he did, and and he was climbing, and later he was enlightened. But that step he took, he was not just surrendering to the fate. The step he took, that is enlightenment before enlightenment. This stage is the disciple stage, the hardworking stage, the decision-making stage. And the next one is enlightenment proper. This enlightenment proper is like when you continue with this, when we know we have something else to do, we seek masters, we do some different meditations. And lucky that we found Anapanasati. Patriji gave this. So when we, at this stage, in this enlightenment proper, we realize we are not physical body. We open our third eye by doing sadhana. At that time, we go with the astral body. We see ourselves. See ourselves meditating, or we go to some other place and see something else, and that is when we know, okay, if I'm seeing there, and what is this person doing here on earth? That is when we realize we are not body and we are not even mind. See, if we are not thinking, first thing is meditation, we stop our mind. And then we get the visions. We see something happening. So I'm not even the mind, even when in our dreams, right? I am not even the mind. Then who am I? This awareness will be there. So after that, this stage is like mastering, in the process of mastering. This is the initial stage of research and realization. When we are in this stage, we go seek masters and we'll find one path. And then comes the very big and essential step, enlightenment after enlightenment. Patriji says, this stage is a long process. It's an ongoing process. Once we come out with this astral body, we understand we have different dimensions. We get into contact with different masters, astral masters, the causal masters, the enlightened masters, who can share you the wisdom, not only about the earth, and also about the human beings and the universe itself, the different dimensions, casual dimension, all these things. And we'll get this knowledge, we'll start analyzing, we'll start experimenting. That is where we have the research. We do the spiritual research. In this phase, a seeker researches about dimensions, sufferings. We see when we are into spiritual path, we know we can't just ignore the suffering of others. At the time, we do the research. We will see the cause and we'll try to find the solutions. Some kind of mapping of what we learned till now and what we are seeing in our experiences, gaining the wisdom from enlightened masters. This is a big process. And it's not just a one-day event. But these enlightenment, it doesn't happen in one day, that's for sure. But there are some incidences which defines us. It pushes us towards the enlightenment. Like for Ranta, at one stage of his life, he was badly wounded. And he had to rest until it cures. At that stage, he was observing everyone and everything around him, the nature, sun, moon, people around, their behavior and their feelings and everything. One day, the woman was crying with a deep sorrow, and she was sobbing for the death of her son. Ramta was just observing, just like he was observing the nature and others. He was observing with no judgment. First, she was crying for her lost son. She felt his life was more important than her life. Then she remembered the love of her son. She was thinking about all the happy moments she had with her son. And she was, with this happy moment, how the son would have faced the problem with the pain. She was remembering the pain of the son. and what the pain of during the death of the son. From that, after a while, a love of her son turned into hatred towards the person who killed the son. And she was sobbing and she cried and she left her body. Noticing this, Viranta was shattered. He thought her love, initially he wanted, her love was shown. Later it turned to hatred. He started analyzing himself. Even he started his journey with love towards Lemurians. But what happened? He started killing Atlanteans. The big sword he got, he started killing Atlanteans, thousands and thousands of them. Then he started introspecting, analyzing what I was doing. Is it right? It's the same situation. The love turned into hatred. Why should anything turn from one stage to other? And he did not stop there. He continued his analysis. When during his near-death experience, at that time, what will others feel about me if I die? What will happen to me? And what will others do? If I experience the pain, will I still love the person? Will I be still a witness? Or will I give up forgiveness? Or will I be in a rage? All these questions he was asking. So what will be my feeling? He looked at the woman who died in deep grief. He asked himself, like, why should anything turn like this? And then he was like thinking, if she was thinking the pain of her son, and how am I different? I was also experiencing the pain of my mom. So what is the difference? How is she different? How the person who died is different from the person I killed? He was perplexed with all these questions. At that time, he noticed the sun was setting. Why the sun is sitting? Such a huge thing happened. Why the sun doesn't stop for anyone? The nature is not stopping for anyone, any single moment. So many masters lived, legends lived and died. The nature never stopped, didn't even care a bit to stop. Why the nature is beyond all? What is this universe? That moment, he is in awareness that there is something very profound beyond just the nature. And he started his real enlightenment journey. And he became the nature. He became the moon. He became the insect. He became everything he could and still be a witness. And that is enlightenment after enlightenment. Not just realizing the oneness. Oneness, many people will realize, I have the universe in me. I can see the universe in me. That is fine. Knowing the wisdom is different. Knowing the oneness is different. Becoming the oneness is the enlightenment after the enlightenment. And that is the one thing which Ramta did. Not only Ramta, Ramakrishna Paramahansa also did that. He was a devotee. And his guru, Totapuri, had to come and pierce his forehead to clear the image of Kali Mata. Because he was so much devoted to Kali Mata. And with that devotion, he was actually distancing him from her. He was like, Kali Mata is different, and I'm a devotee. But see, he was having oneness with others. He was having the same treatment to others. He felt that oneness with everyone. And suddenly he got a thought, if I and him are same, and I see Kali Mata in him, and then why I'm not seeing Kali Mata in, I know that Kali Mata is in me, and why I'm not merging both? Why I'm making a gap between Kali Mata and me? There is no Kali Mata or me. It is both one. The moment he realized, he got enlightenment. He was separating himself like she is Kali Mata. And once he realized both are same, he got enlightened. And so is Shirdi Sai. We all have like many experience. Many masters do have experience with Shirdi Sai Baba, like a father, like a guru. He's like a family to many. Right? We don't know much about his childhood, or where he was learned, how he became the guru, but he did sadhana. How we know? He said he talked about his guru like a mother. The guru was protecting Baba, and later once he got enlightened, the guru vanished. And Shirdi Sai Baba, he was treating everyone equally, very much equal, and he treats everyone like a child, and sometimes he behaves like a child. He plays with children. He always have the purity in heart, because all these enlightened masters are so much pure. That purity and love, they can't stop. They just can't stop like that, and they show it, and that just reflects everywhere. And he had done immense sadhana also. How we know? Because after taking the bhikshatana, the take offerings of the villagers, he goes and he does the prakshalana, or the khanda yoga. He cleans his intestines in the river. So he does the yoga, he meditates. He meditates, and he still has the balance. And once he's enlightened, he just doesn't stop. There was multiple tests for him. And he also agrees it with so much balance and smile. You remember that one of the wrestler fought with Baba, and Baba got defeated. And like, I don't know whether he got defeated and he wantedly showed he got defeated or something like that. And he agreed, and Baba left the village without saying any word. And there is one more incident where Nana Sahib, or Nana, I think, I don't remember the name. The villager called him crazy person. And he came and he ordered Baba to get up from the place. And he sat there, and he was putting, just crossing his legs, and he was asking something to Baba. And Baba was replying with so much compassionate and so much love. No insult, nothing entered his mind. And that is how even the enlightened masters seek that enlightenment after enlightenment. They have complete balance, and they are in that witness consciousness every time. Even if Lahari Mahashaya's daughter, I think his daughter, or daughter's husband died. I don't remember. So even his close family member was dying. And Lahari Mahashaya's wife asked, "Can you do something? Can you please do something?" He was just witnessing. It is his karma. Let it whatever it happens. He was in such a witness state. They don't go for any soul intervention. Like, they are in complete witness state. And there is one more great master, the Osho. So Osho also he's like a rebel. He doesn't follow any religion. He just combined the elements of all the religion of Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, and he followed new meditation tips to practice. He wanted, he somehow know that all human beings, after his enlightenment in 19 years, when he was 19 years, he got enlightened, and he said all human beings were the essence of divine. It was just that there were difference in manifestation of divinity. And he introduced that no past, no future, no attachment, no mind, no ego, no self. Attain that consciousness, and that will lead to the enlightenment. So this is about Osho. And here in enlightenment state, Enlightenment after enlightenment is state, we become teachers. People who are enlightened, they just don't keep the wisdom to themselves. They teach, they spread. If they don't spread, they're just enlightened masters. But they have to spread the wisdom, let others know, because we are all one, and they very well know, and they spread the wisdom. So why we have to learn about enlightenment? Suppose, masters, if we are only the person in the world, in the entire universe, just imagine we are alone, all alone. How dreadful, right? It is like not good. Then what can we do? Can we get the family? Okay, even the family will be boring. So what can we do? We'll get a bunch of people around. Even then, okay, fine. If we give a Lego set to that bunch of people, what they do nicely, at least, oh, something is there. What they do, they just start putting the Lego pieces, they learn to fix it. And once it fix the first Lego set, they said, yes, now let's go for the next one. Like that, they have some object to learn and progress. And so is our souls. Every soul has come here to learn something. And these are all the Lego pieces, like the set of qualities we have to imbibe in us. So the shame, grief, fear, desire. When we are in fear or when we are in guilt or apathy, so what happens? We don't take action if we are having the guilt of doing. So what we do, we start blaming others. So one thing, we learn it. And again, coming out of fears, anxieties, the desires, that is the third dimension, anger. We feel so much of desire. Sometimes we renounce and somewhere something clicks. Oh, I want it. So all these qualities, we have to learn. All these enlightened masters learned it. Everyone. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he renounced everything. Sridi Sai Baba, they renounced. At the same time, some people maintain the perfect balance, both family life and like Patriji. He was a great teacher. He always asks us to do the middle path. Whatever we learn, no, we as a family, we have to do our responsibility, follow the middle path, then learn, accept, being neutral in the world, acceptance, and all these qualities. Once we feel that oneness with all, and when we know that we are not dual, we are the oneness, and we start implementing it. And that is the stage we go to the great void with awareness, and that is the divine self and called the enlightenment. Swami Rama, right from his childhood, he was going to many masters. The wonderful book, Living with Himalayan Masters, Himalayan Yogis or something. So there, he had narrated lots of stories. But if you observe those stories will tell us the guidelines for enlightenment. He shares about fear. He shares about his temptation. Sometimes he feels his guru is not enough. He wants to go to some other guru. And he shows how people have suffered their own powers. Everything he had given a guide. So it's the soul evolution. As Patriji says, it's a long process. It's not like, oh, if we start now, next day I have to be enlightened. No. Each quality will learn, nicely will embed, will learn with happiness, will implement it, will do sajjana sangitya, will do all things with love, with so much love. It will automatically follow. The enlightenment will follow. All our higher self and the masters will take care. All we have to do is with determination. do, step forward. So not only spiritually, even in our career, even in our family life, we'll be happy. We'll be more happy because we'll be jumping with joy. When we learn all these qualities, we know how to manage life, not only manage, excel the life. So automatically the enlightenment will follow. With the great masters, reading about great masters, Patriji has given great wisdom. So following these, we can go and learn about the masters and take their lives as our guides.